Hey YouTube, it's Good783 making another video, and this is sort of just one of those videos where it's interesting to me. You hear like Chris Reeve, most notably, saying that flicking your knives is abuse of the knife. Now, is it really abuse? In my opinion, I would say no. Simply because, like, especially when you have knives in the market, like, say, Tilt, right? I hit the stop pin pretty hard when I opened it like that. That's how the knife is designed to be opened. It's designed to flip open, you know what I mean? And, just look really quickly. A stop pin is, it's not dented or anything. So, especially like on the Sebenza, I can't for the life of me flick that knife open all the way. There's just too much, resistance. The Sebenza doesn't want to flick open. I don't even know how people can flick some of them open. I guess if they're really broken in, you might be able to do it. But, I just don't see how people are able to do that. But is it abuse? That's the question. In my opinion, no. Obviously, Chris Reeve feels differently than that. I'm just trying to, even all these other knives, like, these Spyderco, you just flick out like that. Well, it's not falling apart yet, I think that, I don't even know why he would say flicking is against the warranty, or how that's abuse. In my opinion, I just don't see how it's abuse. The military here too, just go flick. That wasn't a super hard flick, but it still flicked open. And this knife is still perfect lockup, and I flick it open like that. Why? No problem. And it's like, well, the thing I want to know is it really a problem? I guess it depends on how hard you're flicking. If you're like, whatcha, and you flick it open with your wrist, and, it maybe has a sonic boom when it opens or something, that's different, but, I don't know. I think that people they might use their knives for other things, and then when, the manufacturer says, did you abuse it? They'll say, no, so they can get their knife fixed, And then Chris Reeve thinks, hey, most of us say to them, are you flicking your knives? And they say, well, yeah. Then he says, well, that's the abuse. And they go, no. That's exactly how the conversation would go, by the way. But, is that it, maybe? I don't know. But, I think it could be, it's feasible. Like, some of the interesting pictures Chris Reeve has posted of knives he says were flicked show, like, dents on the washer. I think to myself, how? How? It doesn't make any sense. How would anything ever, dent the washer when you're flicking the knife open? I just don't get that. The only damage I could see from, like, excessive, really hard flicking would be maybe denting of maybe the blade or the stop pin. That's pretty much it. That's really the only problem that can form. But, it's interesting how he was showing, of this knife that was purportedly flicked. He was showing pictures of, like, right here, like the lock bar face was kind of, like, smashed or something, or it had this weird, like, divot, like someone had just took a melon baller and went like that on the lock bar face. And it's like, well, how did that happen from flicking? It's like, that doesn't make any sense, because if you were to flick the knife open like that, the blade would rotate around and it would hit the stop pin. So wherever it's contacting here in the stop pin would be where all the force is happening. It's not on the washer, and it's not on the lock, The lock just springs over anyway. So to me, what do I know, right? I'm just some guy. But in my opinion, just looking at it from that point of view, I don't see how that could be the case. But feel free to post a comment what you guys think. I love hearing comments, reading them. So, is flicking abuse? In my opinion, no. But am I going to flick my Sebenzas? No. One, because I can't. But two, because I wouldn't even go there. I wouldn't screw up that kind of warranty. Because it really is a good warranty once you get past that. They'll take care of you. Just don't flick the knives. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate the views. And I'll see you guys next video. Bye.